The original melanated people of this planet, who were once the perfect picture of health, are now leading in nearly every preventable disease globally. Our indigenous foods and cultural practices kept us 95% disease-free. Over time, as we adopted a foreign dietary lifestyle, our physical and mental health severely declined. I gathered over 15 years of experience as a registered nurse and African holistic practitioner to address this complex challenge in my new book, High Vibration Nutrition. This is a simple guide to healing through our culture and flourishing in wellness once again. Get the High Vibration Nutrition book by Banasset Khan Sekmet at Amazon. Also, get limited edition autographed copies of the book at KemeticWellness.com. Peace, Chem family. It's me, Banasset, your African holistic health nurse for Kemetic Wellness, and I am back with another video. If you're new here, I focus on generational healing through African holistic health because your healing is in your culture. Here at Kemetic Wellness, we heal ourselves from an African-centered lens, and lens stands for language, energy medicine, nutrition, and sacred movement. So if any of that resonates with you, please keep watching. So today we are talking about why so many Black men feel empty and don't know why. Okay. The truth is that emotional healing is one of the most important skills that Black men are not being taught. The only emotion that most Black men are taught to believe is acceptable is anger, which is why other emotions like fear, sadness, loneliness, pain, rejection, frustration, all of these emotions are usually expressed as anger. Okay? It's a man's world, and it's not manly to show emotions. Most Black men are taught to hide or downplay their emotions. Now, I'm not telling you to go crying all over the place, okay? I want you to keep your manhood intact, okay? What I am telling you is that even if you don't have a safe space to express your emotions, you still need to be that safe space for yourself. Okay, you need to be that safe space for yourself. And you can create that safe space while still keeping your masculinity intact and even increasing your level of respect in the world and in your relationships. I think a lot of men feel like if they show their emotions in any way, it's going to compromise the level of respect, and actually the opposite is true. Okay. And if you choose not to do this, you can just continue messing up your life, getting into trouble with the law because you have not mastered your emotions. Okay. Ruining relationships with the women in your life, creating broken homes because you lack emotional intelligence. Okay. Being treated as the bottom rung of the ladder for all other races of men who are excelling past you because they know who they are, but you don't know who you are. But if you actually want to be seen as the God that you are, and I mean that, your God self, the blueprint for all men that exist on planet Earth. If you want to be seen as that God self, the divine masculine, by obtaining self-mastery, then you must unlearn Western ideas about masculinity and relearn your own. So first, let me talk about 3 of the most common forms of emotional dis-ease that I see with Black men. Okay. The first one is a negative view of women. A negative view of women. This is something that most men are dealing with in this world because most men have a negative view of women due to religious programming, particularly the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And the ideas that come from religion vilify the woman as being the source of all evil, as being a Jezebel, as being the source of sin. The woman needs to be submissive. The woman is less than because she comes from a man's rib. Okay, all of these ideas, which are foreign ideas to us as Black people, affect the way you view women. Why is this important to your emotional health? Because when you reject women, the divine feminine, you also reject the feminine aspects of yourself, aka your emotions. Okay? All human beings, whether you are a man or a woman, have both a masculine and a feminine aspect of the brain. Okay? Because this is the source of all life. The masculine and the feminine coming together to create life. Okay? And this exists within all of us. Okay? So you have the left hemisphere of the brain, which is masculine. And that controls logic and reason. And it is scientific. It's analytical. It's linear. Okay? It also controls the right side of the body. Then you have the right hemisphere of the brain, which is the feminine side of the brain. It controls your emotions, your creativity, your intuition, your imagination, holistic thinking. Okay, seeing the bigger picture. It also controls the left side of the body. All human beings are built like this. So you're not just completely masculine. You have feminine aspects of yourself, and most of you are rejecting it because of your negative view of women. You're rejecting the feminine aspect of yourself, and you can't maximize the full potential of your brain without accessing both hemispheres. Okay? To do that is to be retarded. Okay, that's why a lot of y'all are emotionally retarded right now. Okay, because you are rejecting the feminine aspect of yourself because you hate women. And the sad thing about this is that these ideas about women are not even your own. They're not your own ideas. The Black woman was always the symbol of divinity in ancient Africa because there was no such thing as a god without goddess. Okay, masculine and feminine together, ma'at. Okay, balance. So you have the Ankh, which is the symbol of eternal life, which represents the woman's anatomy. Okay, her womb. If you look at the Ankh, the top loop of the Ankh represents the womb. Then you have the two pieces on the side, which represents the fallopian tubes or the children. And then you have the piece on the bottom, which represents her birth canal, where she receives the man in order to fertilize the eggs in her fallopian tubes, which carry the children. That's man, woman, and child right there. The original African trinity. And you see the same symbol all throughout Africa, not just in ancient Kemet. You have the Kwaba, which is also a fertility symbol. It's representing the womb. Okay, and it looks just like the Ankh. And it's a woman. This is how African people viewed femininity and viewed the woman prior to foreign invasion and influence. But ever since Arab and European invasion, you were forced to adopt someone else's idea of divinity, and you still haven't let it go. You still haven't let it go. You have to understand that the white male is the dominant force from a Western perspective. And in their worldview, they have a deep hatred for women. You're adopting that worldview by adopting their religious systems. Okay? To them, in their culture, their preferred intimate partner is with another man or a young boy. Okay? A lot of y'all don't know that because you don't really study these people. You just believe the propaganda that they tell you about themselves. Their preferred intimate partner is with another man or a young boy. And you'll see this all throughout Greco-Roman culture with the practice of pederasty, which is man and boy love. Yeah, you don't see images like that throughout Africa. Okay. This is where you actually get the word mentorship. This is why I don't use the word. A lot of y'all talking about you want a mentor. You would not say that if you knew where that word actually came from. Okay. So the mentor is where the man was supposed to be educating a young boy as his teacher and at the same time leading him into an intimate relationship. Essentially, the mentor was the one who gave the boy his first juk in the behind. For those of you who want a mentor. And this is their culture that they forced on you through religion. So now instead of the Ankh, which represents life, man, woman, and child, the womb, your holy symbol is now a cross. Symbolically, it's two dicks. The cross, symbolically, is two dicks. Okay? That's why their God is a man, and the Trinity has no woman. Because they hate women. They hate women. Okay? Father, Son, and Ghost, a homosexual trinity. When have you ever seen two men create life? But that's their holy trinity. Father, Son, and Ghost. No woman. And then they tell you that the woman came from a man's rib, which is stupid. It's stupid. It is stupid. And that's how you know it didn't come from you. Okay? So please, 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 give the Arab, give the European, and give the small hat back their stupid ideas and reclaim your own. Okay? Because it's these religious ideas that are fueling your hatred for women and causing you to reject the feminine aspect of you, and therefore causing you to be emotionally retarded. Okay? The second point is a lack of emotional intelligence. Now, of course, if you're rejecting the divine feminine, including the feminine aspects of yourself, you're going to lack emotional intelligence. You're going to lack emotional intelligence. What does this mean? Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, to manage, and to use your own emotions. And also to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. Okay. So these are some key components of emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness, being able to recognize your own emotions and how they impact your own thoughts and your own behavior. A lot of people lack self-awareness or avoid self-awareness. Self-regulation, the ability to manage your own emotions and impulses and adapt to changing situations. Remember, I talked about in the beginning of this video, getting yourself into trouble on a regular basis, getting arrested on a regular basis because you don't know how to manage your own emotions under high stress situations. It's part of the reason that y'all are doing that, because you lack emotional intelligence. Okay. Motivation. Motivation is a drive for self-improvement and personal achievement. These are all key components of emotional intelligence. Empathy. Being able to understand the feelings of other people and see their perspective, not only seeing things from your point of view. That's important for those of you who are going to get in the comment and tell me about, well, what about women? Because we're not talking about women right now. We're talking about you. Okay. We're talking about the healing of Black men. So focus on your own paper. Focus on your own paper. Okay. Social skills. Building and managing relationships, okay? Being able to communicate effectively and work well with others. If you are a man who lacks emotional intelligence, this is how it's going to show up in your life. Okay? One of the ways is that you can't recognize or accept responsibility when you do things that cause problems in your relationship. So, for example, when your partner brings a problem to you, you can't solve the problem, so you begin to treat her like she's the problem. Okay? You can't solve the problem, so you treat her like she is the problem. And the way that you do that is you start deflecting and blame shifting. Okay? You try to shift the attention onto the other people. Again, like for those people, when you're talking about a specific situation, a specific issue with a specific well, what about what the other person is doing? What about what Black women are doing? That's not what we're talking about right now. That might be for another video. Okay? Shifting the attention onto the other person so you don't have to feel guilty or take accountability. Okay? What about when you do this? Well, you the one with the problem, not me. You always bringing up old stuff. You always overreacting, minimizing the other person's feelings. Okay? That's how it shows up, a lack of emotional intelligence. What's the result of doing this? The result is that you're going to have tumultuous relationships with women. Okay? Baby mama drama, broken homes, and broken communities. Okay? That's how it shows up. So those of you who are concerned about the state of your community, it starts with you. Okay? So many people say they are so pro-Black and you want to see changes in the community, but you're not willing to even do the smallest amount of work on yourself. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay? The microcosm of the Black nation is the Black man and the Black woman. Okay? In order to have a healthy Black nation, you have to have a healthy community. In order to have a healthy Black community, you have to have a healthy Black family. In order to have a healthy Black family, you have to have healthy individual Black men and Black women. As I heal myself, I heal all my relations. Okay. Another way that it shows up is a lot of you all have multiple women because you cannot please one woman. A lot of you have multiple women because you cannot please one woman. You don't know how to get along with women. So when things go left, you just switch out the woman because you have low emotional intelligence. You don't know how to please one woman. You pretend like you're just a player, you know, you're a ladies' man, you're a gallus. But the truth is, you don't know how to please one woman because you have a low EQ. You have low emotional intelligence. And I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but this is not a man bashing video. Okay, I have videos like this for men and I have videos like this for women. So please don't come over here with that. My goal is for generational healing. And in order for that to occur, we have to talk about the things that are happening with us, within us, so that we can heal it. This is not about man bashing. Okay? So please don't come over here with that. Watch the whole video. Okay? Another way that this shows up is violence and criminal charges. Okay, so I already talked about that. You're always getting locked up because you don't have conflict resolution skills. Okay. You don't have conflict resolution skills and you have zero de-escalation skills. These are all aspects of emotional intelligence. So when you have these pigs in your face trying to set you up, and you don't know how to de-escalate the situation so you can just walk away clean, is because you don't have emotional intelligence. Yes, we know it's a setup. We know it's a setup. And that's exactly why you have to be on your P's and Q's. But when you lack emotional intelligence, you're going to fall for the setup every single time and either end up in handcuffs or in a body bag. Okay? Same thing on the street. You're going to find yourself reacting to conflicts with violence because you lack conflict resolution skills and you lack de-escalation skills. So you end up causing violence in your community instead of being the protector, which is your role. That's your divine role as a man. Okay. This is how a lack of emotional intelligence is showing up in your life. Okay, the third point is unhealed childhood trauma or parental issues. Unhealed childhood trauma or parental issues. So because of the things that we've experienced historically with the destruction of our communities and our families, naturally, a lot of us are dealing with parental issues. Whether it's abandonment or some type of abuse, neglect, or just a very toxic, dysfunctional dynamic between you and your parent. Most of us are dealing with that. Or a lot of us. A good percentage of us are dealing with this. Both men and women. Okay? And those issues are going to show up in every aspect of your life. But specifically, it's going to show up in your romantic relationships. Unhealed parental issues always create the biggest problems in romantic relationships, okay? and the type of women that you entertain, the type of women that you're attracted to, okay? The type of treatment that you accept from women, how you treat women, okay? Whether or not you're able to get your needs met, how you resolve conflict, and the type of things that trigger you in relationships. So what are some of the unhealed mommy issues that you might have as a man? Maybe your mother didn't choose a good father for you. Maybe your mother didn't keep a good, clean, orderly household. Maybe she was nasty. She could have been a hoarder. Okay. Maybe she was not there for you. She was neglectful. She could have been emotionally or even physically abusive, verbally abusive. Maybe she was promiscuous. All of those things are going to show up in the types of women that you attract and the women that you entertain. Now, what are some of the unhealed daddy issues that you might have? Well, was your dad even there? Okay. That was a common one that I saw growing up in the 80s and 90s. Okay. If your dad wasn't there, was he in jail? What type of dad did you have? Was he alive? Was he neglectful? Was he too harsh of a disciplinarian where you did not even feel love? You just felt like this was a mean person, you know? He just was mean. Was he absent? Was he abusive to your mother or to your siblings? What type of dad did you have? You have to become aware of all of those things so that you have the power to change them. So these are some of the important things in emotional healing for Black men. How do we begin to change them? Okay, let's talk about solutions. So I'm specifically going to talk about Kemetic Reiki as a solution for emotional healing in Black men. Okay? In this video, we're going to talk about why Kemetic Reiki is an excellent solution for emotional healing in Black men. Now, if you've never heard of Kemetic Reiki, it's one of the tools that we use in my private community, which is called the Alchemy of Black Healing. Kemetic Reiki is simply African energy medicine. It's the practice of using energy to clear blockages, to release trauma, and to increase your vitality and your life force. The goal is to address emotional wounds, stress, trauma, and disease at the energetic root, at the root of it. And the result is restoration of balance. The reason why Kemetic Reiki is an excellent healing tool is because it is African-centered. It is African-centered. It's your stuff. It's your own ancestral medicine. This is the most important aspect of your healing because you begin to undo the brainwashing of religion and white male domination that teaches you to hate women. Okay? You begin to undo that programming that teaches you to reject the feminine aspects of yourself and to function without ever accessing or understanding or mastering your own emotions. Okay, this is why Kemetic Reiki is an excellent healing tool for Black men. Now, in Kemetic Reiki, you're going to learn an African-centered perspective of divinity, which is groundbreaking, okay? Because it honors both the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the story of creation, okay? Balance. Balance. The only problem with that for some men, for some of you, is that you're not going to want to give up the perceived benefits of believing that you are above women. And that's unfortunate because it's going to cost you. That belief is going to cost you. And it's already costing you. It's already destroying you. It's destroying your relationships. It's destroying your families. It's destroying your communities. And that mindset is not giving you the ability to repair those aspects of the Black nation the way that you want to. But you have to decide that you want a different experience. So through Kemetic Reiki, you can access the divine feminine through the Necheru, which simply teach you how to master these energies within you. Okay? You learn how to embody Ma'at. Ma'at is the divinity of truth, harmonious balance, reciprocity, order. Okay? They're not just gods or deities up there, out there, somewhere. These are aspects of nature that also exist within you. And so you learn to live your life in that way. You learn how to practice these things and actually bring them into your relationships. Okay? You learn how to embody Heru, the divinity of joyfulness, imagination, creativity. Okay? Childlike playfulness. Through Kemetic Reiki, you learn how to embody Aset, the divinity of intuition, wisdom, healing, nurturing. Okay. So you learn how to embody these divine feminine characteristics and heal your relationship with the divine feminine, which is really just another aspect of yourself. This is why Kemetic Reiki is an excellent solution for emotional healing in Black men. The second reason is that it teaches you to develop emotional intelligence through self-awareness. So these are some of the things that we do in Kemetic Reiki. There are certain levels of introspection and shadow work that we practice that help you to develop your emotional intelligence. Kemetic Reiki teaches you how to transmute negative energy with wisdom so that it doesn't consume you and destroy you. It gives you the spiritual tools to release anger, to release frustration, and all of those very heavy energies that you're carrying around, that pain, that sadness, so that you're not ready to fight somebody as soon as somebody in the street says something wrong to you. Okay. You learn how to transmute those negative emotions so that you have the bandwidth to have a conversation with your woman instead of deflecting every time she brings a concern to you. You can use wisdom when you're interacting with these police terrorists so you can make it home safely and in one piece. Kemetic Reiki helps you to develop the skills of self-awareness. So you are also better able to develop relationships with others, which helps you to be viewed as a safe person. A safe person and a trusted person. A lot of you all want respect. And you think that you're going to get it either with your woman or in society by being a big, mean, hard, strong man, thug, you know. And that's not what makes people respect you. Fear maybe, but not respect. Okay? When you have the emotional intelligence to handle situations in a way that makes people feel safe with you, you are going to garner high levels of respect. Think about people who are respected in this world and how when they handle things with a certain level of care or intelligence, when you know that that person could simply just smack the other person in front of them, look, you think about how much more that person is respected. Okay? When you handle situations with high emotional intelligence, it commands respect naturally. Naturally. It commands respect. A lot of you are trying to strong arm your way into respect, but you're really abusive. You're actually just abusive. People who lack emotional intelligence are very abusive. And people do not respect abusive people. You may get your way temporarily until the other person figures out a way to get the hell away from you. But they don't respect you. Okay? People don't respect you when you're abusive. People who have high levels of emotional intelligence command respect naturally. Okay? This is why Kemetic Reiki is an excellent solution for emotional healing in Black men. And the third reason that it is the healing of childhood trauma and inner child healing. Okay? Inner child healing. So, inner child healing is when you do the work of becoming aware of the unmet needs in your childhood and you start to meet those needs for yourself in the way that you needed your parents to do. Okay? So, for example, if your mother wound is that your mom was very promiscuous, that may show up for you as also dating women who are promiscuous, women in clubs, strip clubs, online dating. You may even watch porn heavily. And the reason that you're doing that is because deep down you have a belief that all women are 304s, as the young kiddies say. Okay? You have a belief that all women are 304s. But if you want to heal that wound, you have to treat yourself like the mother that you needed to have. Okay? This process is called remothering. It's called remothering. So now you have to put yourself in different environments where you will meet quality women. Okay, this would be remothering. If you're a man who is always meeting these type of women that you say are 304s, and you're remothering yourself, it means that you have to now be a quality mother to yourself, not the promiscuous mother that you had. So you have to stop putting yourself in the company of slutatious women. Okay? Okay? So you're going to have to stop going to the strip club to meet women and then claiming that all women are 304s. Okay? Stop going to the strip club to meet women. Okay? No, not all women are 304s. All of the women that you come into contact with are 304s because you're placing yourself where those types of women are. You're placing yourself in the company of those types of women. And you're not being a good mother to yourself by doing that, okay? You're actually treating yourself the same way that your mother treated you, as a promiscuous woman. Okay? So you want to remother yourself. Go to the museum to meet women. Go to the coffee shop. Go to the farmer's market or the festival or the theater. Okay? This is how you would actually remother yourself and start to heal that wound of having a promiscuous mother. It's one of the ways. Okay? You become the mother to yourself that you needed. So Kemetic Reiki teaches you how to do this level of energy work, which is why it's an excellent healing solution for Black men. Okay. Right. So that is all I have for you all in this video. Okay. If you are tired of being a perpetual victim of your own unhealed emotional trauma, get to work. Okay. Nobody's going to do it for you. The Comedic Reiki program is available at KemeticWellness.com/programs. Okay, you're going to learn the art of energy medicine, learn how to develop the skills of emotional intelligence, learn how to heal your emotions. As a man, it's important. Learn how to heal the divine feminine aspect of yourself. It is important. Okay. So we go into all of the different aspects of how to do that in Kemetic Reiki: the meditation, the shadow work, the nutrition, the ancestral healing, the spiritual work, the spiritual baths. Okay? You begin learning how to heal yourself and also how to heal others. Okay? Some of you men are healers, but you need to do your own work. You need to do your own work. Okay, so if you want to work with me, you can click the link in the description of this video, or you can visit me at KemeticWellness.com/programs. That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.